Welcome back to another episode of the Big Boys Podcast. As longtime listeners are already aware, we here at Big Boys consider ourselves Renaissance men. As such, this week we take a break from watching movies to bring you an episode filled with intellectual conversation, riveting subjects such as time travel, creating a business, and most of all, the question that plagues me most. Why do movies cost so much to make? Join me in my never-wavering quest for truth this week on Big Boys.
Prepare to be mesmerized and or mortified.
Well, what's happening there?
Old Souls here had himself a nap.
You son of a...
Yeah, clever. Kind of soft and only like in one ear.
I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
Look at those boys, ain't they
Big Boys with Brian Hickey and John the Great. Greetings once again, everyone, and welcome to another beautiful, fantastic episode of the Big Boys Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Hickey. With me, as always, is my cohort in all things podcasting, the man, the myth, the legend, Sir John the Great. Johnny, what's new with you? What is new with your junk?
Not much new, to be honest. I guess mainly, a lot of frustrating technical trials and tribulations, but that's about
right.
it.
Yeah, let's let the audience have a little peek behind the curtain here. We've spent probably, would you say, the last hour and a half trying to just figure out technical glitches, and
We spent the last 3 hours.
Wow. Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Solving some, and then finding new ones that could not then be solved. And then ultimately, just backpedaling to originally what we were doing before.
Pretty much, yeah.
With hopefully less cutting out audio.
It was like
listening
Hydra.
pleasure.
When one goes away, another comes in its place.
Exactly, and as with all things with our podcast, it's just best to compare the trials and tribulations of our technical glitches with Marvel movies. That's an analogy that will be lost upon no one. It's the way I see it, dear John Boy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, hey, I've been meaning to ask you this. Maybe you didn't notice that, but a trend's maybe a strong word because we're not necessarily a trending podcast by any chance. But I have noticed a handful of the comments on our short form videos, whether on YouTube or on TikTok. Which, hey, there's a whole other thing to talk about, whether or not we're going to have TikTok for a while. But there's a bunch of people that are. I've been noticing a string of comments that say CaseOh on it. And it's spelled case, like as in like a briefcase you hold, like CASE, and then O as in like, oh, you've been, you get an alert. Oh, OH, like 2 words, CaseOh.
Don't know, but I'm about to look, and you know what?
Well, I'm gonna
go ahead.
Yes, please. Thank you. Let me get to what I was getting at here. I thought the kids were trolling me, and then I finally, as you are doing now, and you're about to find out for yourself, I looked into it. It turns out there is a content creator, a younger chap, who goes by the, I think he's a streamer, goes by the name CaseOh, and Johnny Boy, the kid, looks like he could be your clone.
I find that hard to believe.
I don't know. I saw the photos. Like, okay, this could be a mini me of John. This could be a 15-year younger John.
How did you say it was spelled?
CASE, and then I don't know if there was a dash or not, and then OH, 2 words. Case O. Did you find him?
Yeah, I did. This is a lot more of what I've experienced in my life of basically everybody thinks every fat guy with a beard looks the same. Like,
I mean, I guess, I can appreciate that.
Especially if
speaking
there's,
as a man, yeah.
like,
Speaking
any
as a man
reddish
who's
quality.
as a man who is generically terminally white, I understand your pain. I get where you're coming from here,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought this kid actually had more of your features, just at first glance, anyways. Because I understand that, you get comparisons with. Again, I don't watch the show, but you've mentioned it before that I guess there's a redheaded Scotsman on Game of Thrones, right? And just
Oh,
because
yeah?
he's a big fellow with red hair, like, oh yeah, of course. But this kid, I don't even think he had red hair. I think he just he kind of had your posture and your build. I didn't listen to any audio clippings of him, but I was like, oh, okay.
I mean,
Anyways, the kid.
don't get me wrong. I'm looking at some stuff now, like, and I want to go ahead and just say I'm not saying anything bad about the guy. I know nothing about him, but I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Perhaps, Johnny, you suffer from a diagnosis called terminally unique, whereas you can't just really fathom having yourself compared to anyone else because you're just such an individual that, my God, there can't be another, you know, um, boy man who has your same stature and posture and childlike thoughts. Certainly, there's no more of those in America.
I mean, I don't know. I just know I've seen it a few times where people are like, oh, I saw somebody like, and sometimes I see it and I'm like, not really. Like, I know there was one too. It's like, okay, I believe me, I am far from like a great looking guy. I'm not Hugh Jackman. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it was like literally this dude once again. It's kind of the round face, and he had like red facial hair, and people are like, oh, it looks just like you. But the dude was like ugly. And I was like, okay, I'm not that bad looking. Like, I think it was a mug shot, something on the news or whatever, and they sent me a picture, and it was like, not that ugly. Like, come on. Like,
Well, first of all, let me be defensive on two aspects here. One, for our new found doppelganger of you, CaseOh. No one who was saying here that hey, this kid's ugly and he looks like you. That was not the case at all. Oh, all right. This is like a popular gamer kid, and he kind of he has your resemblance. If anything, you should be taking this kid under your wing and guiding him. Not trying to block his cock with telling him that he looks bad. You should be guiding his cock. Secondly, not everyone who has a mugshot, dear Johnny boy, looks ugly in theirs, all right? Mine, I look like I am, releasing a new goddamn album, all right?
well, that's fine. But I'm just saying this one in particular. I don't care about all the other mugshots that exist all throughout humanity. I care about the one I was compared to.
Right. Once again, terminally unique, ladies and gentlemen. No one can compare to the John the Great.
No.
I'd also like to add that he had to add the John the Great because somebody already had John the Great.
Yeah. When I find them, I will take my username back.
And then, will you make an argument for how they don't also look exactly like you?
Yes,
Because
I will.
guarantee, it's got to be another guy. Maybe he's like in a Hispanic version of Queso. Maybe he's Peso.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up your mugshot now, but having a little hard time.
Don't.
I just realized I was like,
Yeah,
I've never
I shouldn't
done
have opened that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. Don't. Yeah, I should not have opened that door. I regret making that statement. It's nothing. It's nothing special. Um, if anything, the mugshot before me is the one to check out. There's this guy that when I was I was in there for 24 hours. I think I explained the whole story to you before. Of like I went there to just do a walkthrough, but the bail bonds team had messed it up so bad that the sheriff's office didn't even know I was coming, and so ended up staying the whole night there, and then almost didn't wasn't able to get bailed out because they also told me that the bail money was incorrect. Anyways,
That
long
sucks.
story short, I get in there and it's me, a Hispanic fella who I'm not sure if he spoke any English or not. He definitely didn't the whole time that we were in there. And then another guy who was like, I guess he was passed out like the whole night once I got there, and then didn't get up until the morning to throw a fit because he was going to gin pop. But like I look at because they do the mug shots in the order that you're booked.
Yeah.
And so I guess that guy was right before me. Like, holy shit, he looks high as fucking balls. And it's like you could tell he was just bethed out like nuts the night before. Or because like his mugshot, like you go from me who's just kind of like, I'm here. All right, this is just a blank face. And then you click on the guy before, and it's just this guy going, "Duh." Like his eyes are just like out of his skull. Oh man, but yeah, it's not my favorite of photo shoots. I've had better ones.
But no, well, and that was an interesting story. Thank you for regaling us from your time within. But what I was going to say before we got off on a tangent about that CaseOh gentleman, it's been a while since we have read and talked about user comments or viewer comments, I should say.
Yeah.
So
there's not really that. I haven't. Go ahead.
I was going to say, let's go ahead and start here. View that the short that seems to have the most views right now about Buddy's Bloop Blade has no comments. Okay, on to the next. No.
Yeah, I was going to tell you that I don't think there's really any more new comments because I haven't really put up any that much more short form stuff. So, yeah, there's not much to look at there. Not to shit on your grand plan, but
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Boot Blade, that's new. That's only a couple episodes back.
I understand. I'm just saying I haven't. That's like the one piece of short form content that I've uploaded, and I don't think there's any comments on it.
What about? Nope, none here either.
I'm pretty sure the only one was the CaseOh one. And you're like, no, let's get off of that. Let's go to these other comments. Like, no, that's our one talking point. And you're like, let's just jump away from this.
Oh, here we go. 1 month ago, I don't know if this one's ever been called out, but it's from a Brandon Rye 6BV. He said, "Nice, man, nice." Well, thank you, Brandon. Nice.
Indeed,
right back
Brandon.
at you. Yep. Thank you.
I believe that was in response to the clip of me referring, saying that it was nice of you, man. Nice that you're getting back in the gym, right? I think that was
the guy.
in response to that.
Yeah.
Getting your Arnold body back.
I appreciate that encouragement from Brandon. That's a real stand-up guy.
Absolutely.
We got another one about this one's 2 weeks ago. From Glass Giants. Thank you. Hey man, he had to think about it. I did. I'm a thinking man. Thank you.
Indeed.
Thank you, Glass
We
Giants.
thank you. Yes, I think we know who that guy is, though.
We do.
That's a little inside baseball. That's from our aforementioned on other previous podcast episodes. The wonderful Christopher Summers, the new, well, not so new anymore. That's how long we've been doing this podcast. His kiddo, Sadie, I think she's coming up on a year now.
Oh,
right?
yeah, man. I was just out there last weekend. She's growing like a weed.
My God, man. Time just marches on, John.
It
Oh,
does.
how it marches.
And it doesn't stop. Unfortunately. Well, depends on how you want to interpret that. Yeah.
It sounds like you want to go unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
cool if you could just stop time. But, nobody wants to die. That's a problem.
That was the. How long did you think about that before you came to that conclusion?
Seconds.
How long were you pondering?
Mere seconds.
How long? Okay, so we just witnessed the whole conception of that mind-boggling idea and its death within the conceptualization of a matter of a minute ago to it just dying now. That you thought it'd be a great idea to have a time machine, except you thought by building that time machine, inevitably you would have to stop time, which would end the known universe. Is that what we're getting at there, Johnny?
Well, getting into the discussion of time travel, that's kind of a whole ordeal in and of itself. Because I guess at the end of the day, no one truly knows how that works. Are we using Terminator rules or Back to the Future rules? Are we using the original from 1960 time machine rules? Who knows?
Well, you would know in this one instance. This is the one time that you can actually, state your own opinion because this was your idea in bringing this up. You don't.
Well, my thought on time, maybe I was influenced from the time machine, but everybody always talks about like there's so many conundrums. Like if you were going to go back in time and change something, well, then you would have already done it. And so you kind of get into this loop. You also get into the paradoxes, like what they call the bootstrap paradox, basically Terminator, where this item in the future that was created in the past, but it was only created because this item from the future came back and influenced the past. So the item itself basically loses its origin.
I see.
But I think, well, I've always thought if you could imagine it like a timeline, and it's moving this way, but you just had the ability to remove yourself from the timeline, let it either pass or go backwards, and then reinsert yourself, then, you wouldn't have all those paradoxes. But at that point, like, how are you literally, like, ripping yourself from the fabric of time? Imagine, like, fast-forwarding or rewinding a movie.
These are all solid, profound questions.
Yeah.
I assume you will get to the bottom of this and you will make this time machine work. And then what is the main goal to go back forth, to go back and bring forth the changing of the stuff you changed with time travel? What's the point of inventing the time travel?
I think anybody at a certain point in their life has thought, man, wouldn't it be cool to be able to time travel, go back and redo certain things or do them differently?
What are those things?
I would go back and invest in things like Apple. Not the fruit.
Orchards,
Computer company.
okay. I see. The fruits of their labor.
I mean, what if you were to stop tragedies? Now, some of this, if you're willing to martyr yourself over it, like the guys that committed 9/11, obviously be hard to get people to believe you. But what if you just straight up shot them in the airport? Sure, you go to prison for murder, but 9/11 wouldn't happen.
I mean, these are the big questions. How the hell did we get on this topic?
I made some comment about
no, I know.
Time marching on, and then we ended
up. I know physically how we got here. I know it's just within less than 20 minutes we're already talking about changing 9/11.
Well, this is what happens when we don't have a movie to talk about. This is Big Boys the Profound episode. Yeah,
absolutely. Look,
and with that being said,
we have another movie to look over. Yeah. Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah. This one is from a Tay Picabon. I'm sorry, for mispronouncing that. 2938. He said, once again, this is on our Ernest short. He said, once a guy tried to bully me when I was like 12. He has a hole in his leg now. You know what? Tay, good for you for standing up for yourself.
Right. So I don't think that Tay got the entire grand scheme of that clip of that. We're referencing a movie. We're not saying that we're not congratulating real life bullies here, Tay. We're not saying that, hey, bullies should go and track more children as prey. And which we're responding to in that video.
I don't know. I feel like he gets that.
We will be impressed. No matter the outcome, we're not involved in that. But we're not promoting that.
I feel like
that was clear.
Like Tay gets it. He's
sure.
He or she is just telling a personal anecdote, and I can appreciate that. A lot of people have had to deal with bullies, and I think that was good that you stood up and cut that off. Told them, this aggression will not stand.
Man.
And they probably wouldn't either because the hole in the leg.
Right, or it would be painful. Yeah. This aggression will not stand or I'll have a hole in my leg, man.
Exactly.
Oh, buddy. So we got one more of these we're gonna do. I don't know. I'm burnt out, buddy. I got to be honest with you. I don't even know what do you want to do for the finale?
I don't know, but it's got to be something good because it's gonna be episode XXX. Oh yeah.
Which we'll only be able to mention at like 20-minute intervals in our conversations. Because that gives us about enough time before the algorithms catch it that you use a XXX phrase, and it makes it where no one's going to be able to watch that video.
We should watch XXX. Yeah.
I so want to disagree, but there's. I know this to be true. Deep in my heart.
I mean, that's the stars aligning.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. That's what we're gonna do for our finale then. Season 3, XXX finale.
Yeah. We could even call it 3X if we need to avoid algorithm problems.
Yeah, or something with a Vin Diesel pun or something. Who knows, man? Yeah. God, dude, you know what? That's honestly, that might be the perfect movie to like that. Just encompasses all the other ones that we've already reviewed this season. This might be the all encompassing all the shit showness of I mean, you got the crazy, obviously the Seagal want to be Too Fast, Too Furious movie for 10 seconds. Half Past Dead.
Half
You
past
got all the
dead.
crazy, all the driving stuff there. You got you have the Russian angle. That's also that's a huge point in Triple X, if I'm not mistaken. I think not Soviets anymore. Orville well
Not
of
by then.
Russia history. Yeah, I was going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. So you got those two things in common there, and then I mean, we're going to have some fights in bars, so that's Roadhouse knocked out there as well. And then, is it all? Is it all a simulation? Does Triple X die in the end?
You know, I'm gonna ask, or I'm gonna say, I don't know. I've never seen it, so this will be a first time for me. It will
Whoa!
be
You've never
a
seen Triple
blind
X,
react.
dude? I thought we grew up in the early aughts together, man. You've never seen Triple X? Like, those were our heyday middle school days.
Other than a handful of scenes on TV a few years later, nope.
Oh man, me and the brother, we were hardcore Vin Diesel fans in the early 2000s. We ate up everything he did. He had that cop movie where he what was it called? A Man Apart or something
Yeah,
like
Man
that?
Apart. That was gonna be my
Does that
guess.
sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely one of his movies. I don't know if it's the one you're talking about.
I think it is, but he had a whole series of this is around the time right after this, which ironically, is the opposite of his career now, when he was like, "Oh, I don't do sequels." This is why the yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, as we all know, time's a bitch, and it makes us all eat our words in one way or another. So, hey, I understand that feeling.
I'm
No
gonna
judgment
print that
here.
out. That quote from like IMDb or something. If I ever meet him, I'm gonna have him sign it. Like Vin Diesel. I'm gonna have it in a frame, just like Vin Diesel. I don't do sequels. Signing at the bottom.
Yeah, I feel like it's a 50-50 shot. It's either you're going to catch him on a great day and he's like, "Oh, that's hilarious, man. Here, give me a Sharpie," or he's going to take it and just bash it over your head.
Hey, that's cool too. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna have someone recording. Hopefully, if it's at like a meet and greet event, if I just happen to run into him, may not be
At the very least, yeah. At the very least, you'd have to do an audio recording for this podcast.
and that's gonna be my background on here. Be like over the shoulder, whatever side.
Yeah.
Just I don't do sequels. Vin Diesel. Yeah.
But I personally wouldn't give any guff to old Vinny in that regard.
Yeah,
Mainly because I know if I just go back and look at probably I don't know, any of the 30 odd something episodes, I know I'm out of hands to count on how many times I put my foot in my mouth on this show. So I imagine it's got to be a bit more annoying. Like nobody at the time was like thinking doing a bunch of sequels at the time was the way to go, I guess. So interesting how tastes change, because if you would have said that, like, oh, so and so is on their, fifth sequel to something, like, oh, what? I guess they can't do anything else, huh? And then it's looked down upon, and then now, of course, oh, look at them, they're building franchises.
Yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, I've got nothing against the man. I'm all for like, hey man, the movies are what they are. They're obviously popular. Get that bag. You know what I'm saying?
Get that bag. Bring it to your family.
Getting yawny.
All right. Yeah, man. Wake the H up, buddy.
What?
It's only 8 o'clock in your parts.
I thought I was going to be eating a steak dinner by now.
Yeah, I didn't realize did we really take 3 hours to set up?
You called me
Yeah.
at like 4:16.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, if I'm looking at it in best case scenario, we did get it set up to where eventually, when I have better internet, that's the way to record, for sure. And then we did figure out a way to do it where we're still at least saving our audio, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if we were going to keep on doing it the way we have been, without backing up our audio, it would have been fucked. It would have been pointless to keep on doing it if we can't at least get decent audio out of the show.
I mean, I guess
Video
it
will
wasn't
come
a complete
eventually,
waste.
Yeah, we got it situated. We figured out our next movie, which you know what I'm going to call it. I'm going to say next week we're taking off, and then the week after that we'll come back and we'll do Triple X.
Yes.
Because damn it, I need the week. I just got a whole bunch of stuff going on.
It happened.
Hey John, did you know that in California, you can face up to a $900 penalty for not having insurance?
Like health insurance?
Yep.
I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been my new thing. Racing last minute to get some shitty health insurance. And of course, when I go on the website, calcoverage.com or whatever the hell it is, thing crashes every time I try to submit it.
Yeah.
So
That's shows you how great, and they're not the only ones, but just the government solution of like, oh, we'll just require them to have it. Problem solved. No more uninsured.
yeah. Well, that's this glitch thing too of saying like, oh, you can't, we can't submit this form while you have more than one browser open. And it's literally like the only browser I have open. And so you click on OK or whatever, and then it not only does it like close the application, it closes out your browser. So you have to turn the internet back on, go back, like load the website back in, log in again, go through the whole form and see if like, okay, did I get the cookies all set up right? And then nope, does it all over again.
Just to be
It's
told
just,
the same thing.
Yeah, it's just a fun process to continuously have to go through time and time again as you're just like seeing this deadline approach and like, fuck. Oh, and then also, my tax return I got back, which I'm not going to say how much I make, but we both know it's not a great amount of money. And somehow I still fucking owe this fucking state tax. God, I miss Texas in that regard. You're so lucky. No state tax, buddy.
Yeah, that's something I take into account when I think about moving.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, too. It's like they rob so much of my paycheck every 2 weeks, and then suddenly I still owe them money. I can barely afford to keep food in my mouth and a roof over my head. How the fuck do I owe you money?
I mean, that's taxes in a nutshell. What are really any of us getting from them? And you know, we got to be careful. I don't know if we want to cross the line into a political conversation in this episode, but yeah, I think
I'm just venting. Yeah,
I think you're
Just venting about my
expressing
taxes.
without saying much more, a problem a lot of people are feeling, regardless of their
Sure.
thoughts or opinions. A lot of people are, what am I getting for my money? And like they're just so.
Well, let's keep it. Yeah, let's keep it more broad than that. Just
Yeah.
nobody likes paying their taxes. Nobody likes paying more money to the government. Nobody likes.
Yeah.
It. Doesn't matter how lenient, when you don't have money and the government says, "Oh, you owe us money," even though you don't have it. Nobody likes that.
Yeah, and how do you owe them? Like
Yeah.
the only way I would owe you money, for example, is if you lent it to me or you did a service for me, something. But the government just claims you owe it.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for stepping out and being a productive member of society, going out and working full time, and you're going to still owe us for that.
Never mind the fact
What?
that you're like one step away from being homeless.
Yeah, and you're helping. You're helping with the economy. Thank you so much for all that. But also, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not enough. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. Yeah, it's just it's horse manure, and that's that's the first time I'd probably say that like, okay, well that's kind of fucked up California across the board. Usually I'm like, all right, I can't speak for all of California. I can only say stuff about LA because that's primarily the only place I've been in California. But obviously this would occur if I lived anywhere in California.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh,
LA's easily the largest city too. So.
Sure, but it's like, I mean, you want to look at the books or whatever and figure out that I like, there's no like the money that they say that I owe them is like never fucking like I don't have like you look at my finances like the fuck.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's horseshit.
That being said, I still need to get mine done. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you do, and then send me your refund. Be sure to write off your brand new expensive state of the art webcam while you're at it.
You know, honestly, if we get to a point where we're making money with this, it's exactly the kind of thing I'm going to do.
Yeah, I really do need to probably be looking to write more stuff off like that. It's just my tax accountant. I try not to pester her too much because I can't beat the fee. My mom charges me nothing, so I try not to hound her too much.
Although that being said, you could probably both of us just still declare this a business. Even though we're not generating money, doesn't mean it's not a business. We're just not profitable.
Yeah, we're a not profitable business. Not to be mistaken for a non-profit organization. We are we are a not profitable business. Who are seeking charitable organizations to donate to us.
Man, I mean that's something. That's something all companies do at is like pretty much all sizes is try to reduce the amount of profit that they show on paper.
Look at us ahead of the game.
Yeah. I mean, again, we should, if we really wanted to do this, it would be like maybe speak to an attorney or at least like a CPA. But
I don't know, dude. If that's what it takes to be a successful business, I'd say we're already ahead of the game. Like we're showing no profits across the board in every aspect you can think of. Like we're on our way to be a Forbes top 500 company.
Now you might need something else. I don't know if you can just declare yourself a business, but we could probably form an LLC, like Big Boys Podcast LLC. That would also protect us from the event of a lawsuit.
Sure, and it would be a not so funny or proud production. And then this would be under that.
Yeah.
The proprietary. What am I trying to say here? Idea. Ownership of a not so funny. I'm not the lawyer here, okay? We would just basically. Yeah.
I'm literally just
under that.
Thinking out loud since you brought it up.
That's all we're doing this episode, buddy.
Yeah.
Thinking out loud.
Yeah. Complaining about the difficult realities of life and taxes and thinking out loud.
It's a country music song come to life.
Pretty much. Now one of us just needs their girlfriend to leave them. Or in my case, get a girlfriend so she can leave me. And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so basically we're just waiting on you to get a girlfriend to leave you. I think I've already met my quota for that element of the country song. Thank you. Yeah.
That could still count. We could incorporate that.
What's that?
Your girl leaving you.
Yeah, no, I was. All right, let's get off of that.
That's what I'm saying. It counts.
Yeah. I was saying for you, like
I mean, I
my
guess if we want
version
it
of
to have
this is-
happened to both of us.
Yeah. So, anyways, go out there, Johnny. Ladies, he's single. Find him, love him, then leave him. So we could fulfill this whole scenario.
You know, I'd be fine if they didn't do the last part, but you know, that's,
No. We gotta know how the whole arc, comes to a conclusion. I'm not saying she can't come back and find you again, but Johnny, she's gotta leave you
at least
in order
once.
to, at least once.
Yeah.
And then I guess she comes back for the sequel song, or is that a thing in country music?
Not generally that I can think of. Generally, they resolve it by the end of the song, one way or another.
See, they're not thinking like us and then. We tried, this country music song. This could be a franchise. You build it around your entire family. The first country music song is just you guys are, street country hoodlums, and then by the seventh country song, you guys work for the government. Country hoodlums.
From what I can see, speaking of which, Vin Diesel, I guess, has had some falling out with some of the actors from the newest one.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Hey man, big egos. Loud cars, tough muscles. It's bound to happen.
That was me flexing my bicep. I don't know if you could tell on here.
I did, man. Took up the whole camera. It's quite a step. Quite a step.
I'm feeling a little sore from yesterday. Me and a guy from work went. We maximized our pump, and it was pretty good. But I got to start going more often. That's my problem.
Yeah, man. You guys maximized your pump, huh?
Yes, we did, and swelled our thick.
Well, I think we can go ahead and check off that girlfriend needed.
Check off what?
I said I think we can go ahead and check off that that Johnny needs a girlfriend to experience this. I think we just need your gym partner to leave you now, and you'll get the whole experience. Yeah,
No,
there's your country song. That's your country song right there. He swelled my pump and left me in the dumps.
You just combine those two phrases, but it works. You can combine, mix and match. Yeah. Actually, if I keep going, that might help take care of the girlfriend part. Be all svelte. Look like a Greek statue.
And then maybe you'll find another gym partner of your own to swell your pump into their dump. And,
oh, okay. I don't know about that last part, but yeah.
Hey man, it's the way of the gym. I don't go. This is you telling me your story. I don't.
You adding.
I like
stuff.
to exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to swell my pump in private. It's. I don't like to put that out there for the world. But hey, maybe you'll be getting another girlfriend before me because of this. Because you're out there she's like, oh fuck, look at that guy. Oh, is he swelling his pump? Oh,
he's powerful.
Look at that pump swell.
I'll just be like doing the in this gym.
Yeah, I live my life one curling iron at a time. By curling iron, I mean it's iron. Curl.
Or just kind of do the Rambo and just be like, you bring any weights and you ain't lifting nothing,
What?
That was just my terrible attempt to work in his line from the fourth movie called Rambo, when those missionaries are trying to hire him and he's like, did you bring any guns? You ain't changing nothing.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. I was trying to, I was racking my brain, like, where was there like a Rambo workout scene of like where he's like, spotting one of the guys and on a bench press before before he takes him out in the next scene. Yeah, they drew
No, no, no,
first blood. Yeah,
no.
they drew first blood. They didn't spot.
Yeah, exactly. He dropped it on himself.
Yeah, they drew first blood. They hogged the bench machine.
Now, someone here on Reddit says, I guess the issue on the new Fast movie, it says a lot of critics are saying that the movie sucks, but still praising Jason Momoa's performance. I think that hurt Vin's ego. He fell out with Dwayne Johnson too because of ego. By that I mean both of their egos clashing. Vin seems to think these are solely his movies and he should be in control and the star of everything. If other people shine more than him, that it's a problem. I mean, I can kind of see that. He's been doing like 10 of these, and then you bring in Momoa, who's a pretty big name right now,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's
Well,
like,
that's what he does with every one of them.
yeah.
Yeah. It's every single one of those. And then I don't know. I also hesitate to believe those things 100% because at some point you got to realize that I mean they could all be 100% true, but like these types of things like those guys someone's paying to have that hot gas up. You know what I mean? To hear that he's being such a douche on set or whatever. But the movies are getting made and people are coming back. So I don't know. I wonder how much of it's just over elevated for like the trade magazines.
Could be,
Yeah.
and some of that is like the whole, all publicity is good publicity kind of mentality.
Yeah, I do appreciate though. How did you say it? Like on Reddit, they're saying the problem is that the critics think the
The
movie
movie
sucks.
sucks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
that's a good place to start.
Well, right here, I mean, like you said, they're still making money. The box office for Fast 10 was 714 million.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
They're
how are movies getting so expensive? It seems a movie has to make that kind of box office to make any money because it cost 340 million was the budget. Goodness.
yeah. How many times are we gonna have this conversation, though, Johnny? I mean, it costs money.
Until I feel
People like money,
satisfied with an
money.
answer.
All right. Well, I feel like we're never gonna have that satisfactory answer because God knows how many episodes we've gone back, particularly with the Fast and Furious, and I just feel like I'm in a loop here.
Yeah.
We're never gonna figure it out, pal. Other than the fact that it makes money, they make more of them because studios like money. America likes money.
Well, I get that, but why is the movie costing 340 million? I'm just saying, like, now granted, it's a huge production, lots of special effects, so on and so forth. But here's just an example that still had a lot of action and special effects, maybe not to quite the same degree. The Punisher, 2004. The budget was 33 million. And you're telling me Fast X has 10 times the budget?
Yes, I mean, first of all, I'll go into talking about this one more time, but then anything else that I don't say, I'm just going to say, hey, go back and listen to any of our other previous episodes where we've had this exact same conversation. Look, man, yeah, of course it's 10 times as much because this is a franchise. This is everyone's got more wiggle room with their contracts and what they can negotiate with. If you want everyone back for the franchise, everyone has more negotiating rights for how much money they can get, and therefore that's going to keep on adding to the budgets, adding to the special effects. Everyone, yeah, obviously something's working for Hollywood. They're going to double down on their investment of something to get a bigger, payout.
Yeah. I mean, I guess some of it is that salaries are probably really inflated on them.
Yeah. This too can be heard in our Tooth Fast, Too Thankful episode.
And we're touching on it again because the answer is still out there somewhere. We will find it. Remember, I did an investigative journalism episode, and I'm still that's going to be my thing now. Investigative journalist John has returned, and I'm going to find out
I would love to hear more
movies
about it.
are so much more expensive to make. I know inflation is part of it, but it can't be all of it. Like, come on.
You don't want to keep going down this road, Johnny. You think you want to know the answers, but I assure you, you keep going down this road of darkness, all you're going to find is an empty void. Are you sure you want to go down these treacherous roads? You got comfortable enough shoes there, Sorrels?
Goodness. I mean, I guess it's been on and off for a while. Like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, $300 million in 2007. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is. It's good. It's a good chunk of change.
I didn't
But
realize.
that's also franchise, my man. Franchise. Once again, coming back for another third or fourth hit, right?
Yeah.
And Johnny Depp's got to pay for his what was it, like a $30,000 a day wine habit? Wasn't that like the rumor or something like that?
So I don't know if it was a day, but I did read something somewhere once upon a time about he was having like whatever wine he liked flown in from whatever France or whatever country.
Right. Yeah. So blame it on the wine. That's what I say.
Blame it on the. I'm not a good singer.
But I guarantee Vin's doing that same kind of stuff too, though, man. Like, you know, probably got himself a yacht with some Johnny Depp wine and I don't know what else is Vin Diesel into. Magic the Gathering? I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, if you, I'm here looking at the list of the most expensive films ever made, and the only one on here from the 2000s, there's like 3: Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, 2009, Spider-Man 3, 2007, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Everything else is like after 2010. I would say most of them within the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm. When franchises became a big thing.
A lot of them are like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, a franchise, but it's also a reboot. So you had a lot of new characters that were in it for the first time. Not a reboot, but it's the point I'm making is it had a lot of new actors that, you know, they're maybe not commanding the kind of money like Harrison Ford would because he's already an iconic character. They're new characters, lesser known actors. You know what I mean? But why did it cost $447 million? That's ridiculous.
You have iconic characters, iconic IP. Everything's coming in there for the licensing of it. Yeah, especially like, dude, think about it, like the what's the name of the composer? Is it John Williams? Is that right?
Who?
Like, I bet you, like, who's the composer for all the
John
Wars?
Williams?
Yeah, like, even down to, like, guys like that, like, you know, when you're trying to basically remaster, you know, this mega hit, like, yeah, I think everything's going to cost 10 times as much because everyone knows, like, oh, yeah, that's what you're looking for is you want to, you know, redo, like, you want to have essentially, as you were saying, though it's not a remake, it has to have a lot of the same markers. So, like, you're not going to have a fucking Star Wars sequel with a, you know, musical composition by someone other than John Williams when John Williams is still alive and well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, I guess also if I was John Williams, and you've already done like 6 of these movies over the last like 30 years, and they wanted you to come back again, I'd be like, all right, but like I'm charging a premium.
Yeah, I'm sure he does it every time. I'm sure
Yeah.
you're not getting John Williams for the same price point you got him the last time. It's insane. Yeah.
But then again, he's done most of Steven Spielberg's movies, and how many of them are on this list? The Dial of Destiny, the newest one, which just kind of makes my point more. Why are movies costing so much? And Spielberg didn't even do that.
It's all franchise, but it's all
Yeah.
franchises. It's all big play. Most likely going to get them a decent financial outcome. I mean, I think your question would have more merit if it was like something brand new, an original came out and it cost $600 million to make. That would be more mind-boggling to me, rather than something that's like, that these studios are looking at as like pretty much a sure thing. That, that they're going into making, and whether or not it's already been, made from a previous film or from a hit novel. There's already an audience behind it. That's why there's so much more money that they're willing to throw into it. That makes sense to me. If they were doing that with something that was, again, something that was new and untested, that would be pretty fucking awesome. That would be that'd be more interesting to me. But yeah, I'm not surprised.
I get your point. I guess what's just confusing me is sometimes you see movies with a lot smaller budgets, but I don't feel like they look it. Like you're not watching it going like, yeah, this was a lower budget film. Like sometimes it seems like they just make their money go so much further. And that's why I'm confused.
I mean, I don't know, dude.
Some of it's salary, like you said, probably, especially for franchises.
Well, yeah, but then also like some of the stuff you're talking about too. Interestingly enough, like if it's like an indie that becomes more of a cult hit or whatever, that like there's a lot of indies that were made in Texas that didn't really go by union rules other than Screen Actors Guild rules, which for as far as like marketing goes, that's really the only union you need to get involved with a low budget independent film, because that's the only selling point are the named actors. Nobody's showing up because, so and so from the union did set dressed on whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but there's also like, if you're going to make something with the union and it's not a huge, bank account, there's a lot of red tape in between, and your production quality can get lost, I guess, in some regards, when it's, spread thin with more bureaucracy versus less bureaucracy with the same amount of money.
I think a lot of it is that too. Of course, that's nothing new. But all that union red tape, of course, drives up cost of production. But that's been around a long time.
But my point is, if you have an independent contractor who is either doing his own passion project or is willing to work for cheap on somebody else's that doesn't have to apply by union guidelines of, all that stuff, they could probably put in the same amount of work hours as like a team and, for a lower price point and do just as good a job with like After Effects and things of that nature.
Yeah. I guess some of it's that too, like passion project. But actually, I have a better example. Now, I don't know because I guess it was foreign made, but what was that one that recently came out, made a lot of money, Godzilla -1?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah. The budget was like, according to Wikipedia, 10 to 12 million. No way, hero in America, you would have made a movie of that level with those kind of special effects for $12 million.
But that's my point, though. Was it a union shoot? Like, other than, like, I mean, I've only heard about this. I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen a trailer or anything. But, like, yeah, $12 million for that amount. And again, I don't even know how much. So I keep on saying union stuff, but like, I don't even know how much that, how that trickles down to like, these post production houses. Like what are like the mandates for that kind of thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was
Like
produced in
certain
Japanese.
people can only
I
work
think,
for so many hours.
in Japan.
Okay, so then yeah. Oh, then for sure they definitely didn't have to go by any of that shit.
Yeah.
So that yeah. And I don't know if there is a union of sorts in Japan or what that entails, but
it kind of makes you think, what's the benefit of doing that over here? I know sometimes there's certain safety rules that are good and all, but that's a lot of money.
So what's the question?
Like
What's the benefit
like you're
of
saying, by not, now we don't know if that's the sole cause, but by not going by those rules, they produced a major movie for pretty cheap. $12 million is nothing in Hollywood. And
yeah.
And so you're wondering, like, is having to go by all these rules really benefiting, anything? I mean, I get safety things, like, which is why the Screen Actors Guild was created, but
Yeah, I'll say, well, that's not even that. It's like, that's really just more, Screen Actors Guild just more ensures payment and, not overworking the actors. And that's, the safety stuff is actually, could still definitely be, taken full advantage of, which is what I was getting at, was like, the Alec Baldwin movie, where he accidentally killed the cinematographer. That was technically a Screen Actors Guild movie, but it was not a union film in any other regard.
yeah.
So they weren't going by union stuff. They didn't have to go by union stipulations. They didn't have all that bureaucratic red tape. And it's obviously worst case scenario. This is what could happen.
Yeah.
And no one's there to cover anyone's ass. You know what I mean? Like fucking Alec Baldwin's still fighting off legal battles and things of that nature. And really, if it's a tragedy that occurred, no doubt. But if it was a union shoot, like there would have been so many measures between Alec Baldwin getting that gun, and it would have, like, there would have been no threat of liability. Like all this stuff, right, where he's going through these legal battles right now, is because there was, he held the gun a lot more than he would have. And
Yeah, I guess there's a lot of arguments over like protocols that were.
Well, that's my point, because
followed
it's two options. There's two things. Well, one, he's the actor in it, but also the protocols that they're talking about that weren't followed is also falling upon him as a producer of the film, because they didn't. So that's what could happen. But anyways, we're at the hour mark, pal. My God, we have been all over the place here, Johnny boy.
This ended
but hey,
up
that's another
being
good
slightly
episode.
more of a serious I don't know if you call it a serious discussion, but
Yeah, I think it's all over the place. I think we bounced around quite a bit, and that's good. We need some bouncing around time. But anyways, we're gonna take next week off, and then the following week we're gonna come back. We're gonna give them that 3X finale.
3X episode 3X.
Right on, man. Looking forward to it. You got anything else you want to add?
Not at this time.
All right. Well, this has been another glorious episode of the Big Boys Podcast. We will catch you week after next. Well, how about that for another beautiful, fantastic episode of the Big Boys Podcast, dear listener? Yes, we once again went through a whole plethora of ideas that we discussed with our ADHD brains let loose, with no specific topic strained to it. We sure do hope you enjoyed it. And I'd be lying to say that I wasn't recording this last part in a hurry, as I am preparing to walk out the door to go and do my night job once again tonight. Not a lot for me to say about this one other than we got one more left before the big finale. And then we get to take some time to reevaluate what we're doing here and how we're going to go about doing it, and the time and effort that we're going to be taking to put into this podcast, and what we're going to be expecting to come from it. And then hopefully, after that reassessment, by the end of the 4th season, I won't be ready to rip out my GD hair, as it were, as it has felt like at the end of every season thus far. It's I've got to figure out how to get the proper work and fun ratio of this podcast worked out, which means it's probably going to be a bit more pre-production, and maybe another month or two before you start seeing signs for the next season. I just need to take some time to just reassess. Find old Bry Guy again. Find the Bry Guy. Remind myself that I am that Bry Guy. And then once again, return to being that guy that is Bry. And hopefully, all will be at peace within my world once again. But in closing, as always, I'd like to say, Como se llama hermana? Lo siento, Palapinto. Good night, all my North Texans, and sweet dreams, all my fellow Angelinos. And to everyone else in between, I hope you know what I mean. Have a good day, a good night. Whether you're blind or have sight, make sure it's cool, tight. For this has been another episode of The Big Boys Podcast.
Big Boys is a podcast produced by Not So Funny or Proud Productions. The team consists of co-hosts, co-producers, and co-editors Brian Hickey and John Sorrells, better known as John the Great. For more information about the duo or this show, please visit us at bigboyspodspot.com. Or feel free to take a gander at our production page, notsofunnyorproud.com. Look us up on social media and follow us at Big Boys Podspot. New episodes drop every Thursday on every popular podcast hosting platform known to man. So please be sure to like, subscribe, vibe, describe, contrive, confide, collide, abide, preside, and tell your tribe, and most importantly, do prescribe. Me and Elixir for talking out the side of my neck.